Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Steve the Animal. Check it out. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Fret Rescue. Located in Southeast Michigan, Joe at Fret Rescue has over 17 years of experience as a journeyman luthier. From basic setup to major repairs and restorations, you can put your trust in Fret Rescue. Contact Fret Rescue via email at fretrescue@gmail.com. You can also find them on social media by searching for Fret Rescue, @FERTRESCUE. That's Fret Rescue. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Steve the Animal. Steve, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. So you were cool enough to reach out to me on Facebook or Messenger or something like that, and shared with me a couple of different projects you got going on. You've got Unusual Mindset. You've got The Next Best Thing. Which is behind it. Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah, let's we should talk. And because I'm curious, and we'll get into it in a minute, but like I grew up in the hair metal days, and so you're just a young dude, and I'm thinking, well, how did he get into this? So anyway, thanks so much for being on Fans with Bands.
No problem, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. So let's just kind of jump into that question. So how did you get into music, and in particular, like what was the drive to get into metal and hair metal?
All right, yeah. So it kind of started. I was 8 years old. That's when I started playing the drums, and I grew up listening to like Kiss. You know what I mean? It was my favorite band growing up. So awesome. I grew up listening to like Double Platinum because my dad's from the '80s, so I grew up listening. And I watched MTV when I was younger, and I see Kiss for the first time, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do. When I get older, I want to do that. Put on the best show I can for the crowd. Big explode. Fire and just
awesome.
Huge stage show and everything. But
awesome, man. So who would you say is like some of your musical idols as far as drumming goes? I'm gonna guess Peter Criss, but who else?
Yeah, I was gonna say one of them is Peter Criss, and then believe it or not, it's Neil Peart from Rush. I love Neil. Just
awesome.
Guy was very just talented. Dude was great timing. Just great parts and stuff. Yeah, and then trying to think, Todd Sucherman too, from Styx.
Yeah.
Got really into like Todd, and then I guess for metal, I don't know. Trying to think, because I do double bass, you know what I mean? A little bit of double bass drumming and stuff. So I picked that up a little bit later on when I was about 18 or something. When I got out of high school, I started listening to like metalcore, the street. So like was listening to bands like I Prevail, which is a Michigan band, different stuff. So it kind of helped me like get my chops, double bass and all that.
Right. So, like you said, you started when you were 8. Do you remember like what was your first band? What were they like? When did you start like wanting to be in a band?
Yeah. That's actually so I went to a school called Southern Thumb Music, and I had a teacher for a little bit, And then even within like the first few months, he was like, yeah, this kid, he knows this stuff. He told my dad, but I just kept jamming with him, because I was young. So then about a year into that, I had they asked me to like join a band, with some like kids at the the music school. So then believe it or not, we were called the Lady Killers. It was funny. We didn't have a name. So that's what they called it. I was like, all right. So I was a young kid, I was like, I think 10, and everybody else was like teenagers, But that was my first experience doing that.
Awesome. So, do you remember that first time on stage? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel like, oh shit, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I was probably a little bit nervous, because I was young, but I did like talent shows and all that stuff when I was a kid. I did like school talent shows and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Since I've been like playing now I'm never nervous. You know what I mean? I just enjoy it. I get more hyped, if anything. I get more energy. I'm just excited to, play and get out there.
Yeah.
Try to put on a good show. Yeah.
So Next Best Thing, that's 80s covers, right?
Yeah. It's an 80s tribute band. Yeah, we're doing anything from like Whitesnake, Guns N' Roses, Bullet Boys, Lynch Mob. You know, we do all that stuff. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. You got any like songs that you just like every time if it's in the set you're like hell yes, and then converse for that, is there any tunes you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to do that one again?
Yeah. Um, I actually like Smooth Opinion, the Bullet Boys. I dig that one. That was
Awesome. Yeah.
and then I don't think there's really a song that I don't mind. You know what I mean? I love just
Yeah.
playing anything. I'm the type of guy I can play any genre, any, you know what I mean? Because I even looked at like studio drummers, so like to me it's fun to like try to even like fill in for bands and stuff. You know,
Oh, very
you
cool.
have to. Because I've
Yeah.
done that before for some of my friends' bands. They'll be like, "Yeah, man, I got like a week to learn this stuff, and I'll learn it." I'm like, "That's kind of cool." Like to jump in and try to,
Yeah.
figure it out, or filling in for bands is interesting. So you got to try to put your part on it, but don't like change. Same
Right.
with anything you're covering. I mean, you want to put a little bit of flair on it, to make it yourself, but you still want to like represent the bands you're covering. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned like that you've like done some studio work and some, doing like basically fill-in work for other bands when they need a hand. Is there like any particular style or genre you've played that you really love that isn't necessarily in your wheelhouse?
um yeah, believe it or not, I actually kind of like country music now that I've gotten
Awesome.
older.
Yeah.
There's something about it, like you kind of lay back. It's more, you gotta like really be I guess, in the pocket and
Yeah.
more, just on beat, which is kind of cool. Sometimes it's cool just to lay back because I'm like, I like doing drum solos, and I looked up the Tommy Lee and guys
Yeah.
like that, or even Tommy Aldridge, that do all the crazy drum solo stuff. But it's cool just to lay back sometimes,
Yeah.
let the music, talk, let the rest of the band do it. And you're kind of just laying it down. It's cool to step back, for a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's surprising. Like some country drummers, especially like the original dudes. Those guys, man, had like impeccable timing and some really cool
Yeah.
swing. That just would just
No,
like
yeah.
just kept you in there, right?
Yeah. No,
Which
yeah. Yeah. I even listen to ironically, I listen to like Matchbox 20.
oh
I
yeah,
like I like Rob Thomas or like Gavin DeGraw. I listen to stuff like that, and like
yeah,
it's the drumming's kind of simple, but it's great. It's exactly what you need for that stuff. It's just laying it down. It's perfect. Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah. I was just thinking you when you were mentioning like being in the pocket and some of that kind of pop. There was this one tune. It's an older pop tune, but man, the fucking drums on there just sound so good. Just like that
No, yeah. No,
snappy,
yeah. There's something about
snappy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, just so awesome. So,
No, I love that.
have
Yeah.
have you been working on doing any like original music? I think Unusual.
Yeah. Unusual
Us
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that band has an album out.
Oh, cool.
Eventually we'll probably put it out on like social media and all that kind of stuff. We have
Yeah.
like some videos for the like live videos we shoot at like our own like studio we have, but we do it like old school kind of. We would
Yeah.
like do like old school type music videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have our own album out. It's called just self-titled. It's Unusual Mindset. It's but we actually have the other half of the album like already done. We're just waiting to release it.
Cool.
But
Cool.
we did it like about last year in spring. It was pretty cool.
How would
A good
you
experience.
if someone was like completely new to your band, how would you describe the sound?
A lot of people compare us to Clutch, Unusual Mindset. They say we have like a little bit of a Clutch sound. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
little bit of underground rock, but it's definitely unusual. It's why it's Unusual Mindset. It's kind of old school rock. I don't know, like underground rock, but the lyrics are great. You know what I mean? The writing is really good.
Yeah.
We have a song called Another War, and then we have one called like Soldier Story, which is like for the veterans.
Right.
Try to like write for the veterans. Because without them, man, you can't do what we do, man. So you gotta always give them props.
True. True.
So
True, man. Yeah. Very
yeah,
true.
mad respect, man. Yeah, you have to.
So, I always have admired drummers because it's just I just lack that kind of coordination. Is there certain things you have to do to get ready for a show to just be physically ready to go?
Um, I guess not really, but I might stretch out a little bit. I might just kind of warm up real fast, kind of get my hands moving. But I mean, maybe a little depends. Like when I was in a death metal band, I'd kind of get my feet going. Like I'd
Yeah,
kind of try to get my, because I was doing double bass and all that because I used to be in a death metal band. So I guess for stuff like that, you kind of want to warm up. But for the most part, no, I was kind of, I guess, just get in the mindset just to have some fun. Just
right.
get ready.
Right.
And just
Yeah.
like, probably show the best show you can for the people, just have a great time, just enjoy it. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's always fun, when you
yeah.
see a band that's not just, standing there or expressionless or not being, I don't know, entertaining, I guess. I mean, it's about the music, but it's also about just
No, yeah, that's what
yeah,
it's all about.
giving
Yeah, that's
people a
what
show.
we've been trying to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's what we want to do. Like, cause I grew up listening to Kiss. That's my whole. Like, I even eventually I'll probably blow fire on stage because I've done it. I've been practicing for a while.
Oh, no
I do
shit, really?
cornstarch, and you blow the fire. But yeah, yeah, because I look up the gene, so I was always like, man, that'd be sick, Even do a
Yeah,
drum solo or something, blow some fire or whatever, just to add some crazy stuff to.
right. Holy
And then
shit.
we got like risers. Like I have risers built with lights and stuff, and
Oh, cool.
get side scrims and all that kind of stuff. Try to bring a good show,
Yeah,
build
yeah,
a stage. Build a stage show. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. So if you get the chance, I know you're playing probably well around Michigan and stuff, but if you could go anywhere in the world to play a show, where would that be?
Um, I've been to Nashville, but I'd love to like start playing down in Nashville. You know what I mean? Just because
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
on a
the
regular
scene down there is
basis?
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Broadway is great. You go down the strip and there's a lot of. But honestly, yeah, Europe probably. I'd love to travel Europe and see what it's all about, like England and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because I've never been to Europe, so I'd love to see like all the cities and the architecture. Just see what the fans are like. To see what Europe's all about. The music scene over there because it's
Yeah.
great. You got the British Invasion, you got all that stuff. So yeah.
It does feel like I'm always curious about that because I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to shows there. But it always feels like well, metal particularly is like so well received over there as opposed to like in
Yeah,
the
from
in the
what I've heard,
States.
yeah, there's
And I don't know if that's
yeah,
just
yeah, I was gonna say there's a band.
like just my impression or if it really is that way. I don't know, but I would like to check that out. Like go to one of those big
Yeah.
festivals. Is there any particular festival
No,
or
yeah, I
anything over
definitely.
there you'd like to go check out?
Trying to think. I think there's Hellfest. That's one of them. I think there's a
Yeah,
lot of them I watch about, and I'm like, that's
yeah.
just the amount of people. There's like it kind
I
of reminds me
know.
of back, or even like like the band Queen. They go to South America and then the whole stadium was
Oh
just
yeah,
packed. We're talking, it's a
yeah,
100,000 people, man. It's like it's crazy.
yeah.
Big
Well,
arena shows are insane. Yeah.
well, when you see those, yeah, South America, that's another great one because I've seen I don't know how many videos like Iron Maiden when they played Sao Paulo,
Yeah.
even Sepultura and a bunch of different. Well,
No, yeah,
Queen
I
too.
was
Yeah,
gonna say I listen to Eloy. He's in Slipknot now, but I listen to Eloy Casgrad.
yeah, that dude is awesome.
And then yeah, and then Grayson and Krutman now is in Sepultura. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. He does the big band stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
keep
awesome.
up pretty well with the drumming stuff going on. Yeah.
Right. So, is there any styles of music you haven't gotten into yet that you want to?
Um, I'm trying to think. Maybe I guess I've done it, but I guess rap rock would be kind of cool. I've always been into like Rage Against the Machine, like even just
Yeah,
playing stuff like that. It'd be cool to do an original song like that, or try to cover a rap song and make it rock. I always thought that was kind of cool.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I've done like even in school, I grew up doing jazz band, so I've done jazz. I would go to my aunt's bar, and do like there's a blues night. I would even just sit in on blues stuff, even though I'm not a
Oh,
blues guy.
yeah, yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
funny. I do a little bit of double bass, and they trip out on it. They're like
What
right
is
on
going
though.
on?
They're like I'd be twirling my sticks and throwing them and juggling and whatever, just going nuts.
Oh man, I can see it too because
Yeah, a
that's
little
another.
4-piece drum set,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. But that's another one where you got like blues. You kind of the drummer's like just he's there to like keep the time and be in the pocket, you know. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I could see if you've got some flair, and the rest of the guys are like, what in the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, they were tripping out. Yeah, but the guy that let me play his drums was cool about it though. He was like, "Right on, man. I get you though. You're young. I
Yeah.
remember being young.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
as part of like getting into people's musical journeys, I like to ask them like, what was the very first like album or CD or cassette or stream that you got that you really were into?
Well, I was gonna say it's Kiss, yeah, like double
Yeah.
platinum, man. I just listened to that. It was great. Or anything 80s, I guess, 80s hair metal. I had like a CD that like had a variety. Like I'd even listen to like it was like Badlands by like Metal Church,
Oh yeah.
or just like even Nazareth, a band like Nazareth to me was pretty fascinating when I was younger. I always thought like that band's sick, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah. So
or,
have you seen Kiss?
yes, yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen him twice. Yeah. Actually, no,
Awesome.
yeah, twice, yeah.
Awesome.
Great time, man. Yeah, I seen him at Little Caesars Arena, and then the other time was at Pine Knob. It was pretty sick. Yeah,
Awesome.
love
Awesome.
Pine Knob. Yeah, that was my first concert ever. Was Iron Maiden and Dream Theater when I was like 8 years old. Yeah, Pine Knob.
Really?
That's kind of
Really?
what started it for me. Yeah,
Oh man, that's crazy. Holy cow.
yeah,
How did you end up there at 8? I mean, I'm gonna guess your parents were into it,
yeah.
but
My dad. Yeah, it was
yeah.
me and my brother and my dad. Yeah, my dad was like, I had to stand on the chairs, like 'cause we were under the. But I had
Right.
to stand on because I'm short. I'm just a little
Yeah.
kid. But it was great. Yeah, just seeing all the people and the energy was good. It's good to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. And that's a hell of a show to start with, man. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Iron Maiden, yeah, dude, Dream Theater, yeah. I got to see Mike Portnoy, and then I've seen both versions, with Mangini, both
Yeah.
great drummers, phenomenal. Just
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there's something about Mike. He's got like just some I don't know. He's got an energy, a personality, I think, that comes through.
yeah. Well, no, yeah, he had the monster kit back then, where he'd have the
Yeah.
split one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, that's insane. To me, I was like, that's insane. Or looking up the Neil Peart, I was thinking, dude, huge drum sets, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do you
Yeah.
get in that thing? How do you fit back there? That's the best part. It's great.
Right.
Building a
Uh,
huge monster.
yeah. That's crazy. So what's the best show you've been to? I know that changes over
But
time, but yeah.
yeah. Trying to think. Obviously Kiss was great, but Styx is actually a really good band. They put on a great performance. I've seen Styx a good amount of times, and then
Nice. Nice.
seen Judas Priest. That was killer at the Masonic Temple.
Oh yeah.
That was a sick show. I was
Yeah.
like, right on, man, because like I love that was the first song I ever learned on drums, living after midnights.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I was like right on. So I was like, I have to see, I got to see Halford, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. Was that with Saxon? Is that the
yeah, I
yeah.
think so. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was sick, man.
Like
Yeah.
before the pandemic, I think, right? I think so.
Yeah, I think it was like 2018, something like
18.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was at that show. It was awesome.
yeah, no, it's sick, man. Yeah,
Are there any bands you haven't seen that you want to see and that kind of in that realm, like if you got a chance for your band to open up for somebody, who would that be?
that's a hard, but I don't know if I could. I mean, honestly, like, Motley Crue, Kiss, that'd be
Yeah.
killer. Guns N' Roses bands like that'd be killer.
Right.
And then modern bands I look up to, I don't know, like Alter Bridge. Like I love Miles Kennedy, great voice.
Yeah, that dude is
And then,
super talented.
and then the band is the Creed, the backing, that's Creed,
Yeah.
believe it or not. I never knew that, and then I figured that out. I was like, that's insane, dude. I was like, no
Yeah.
wonder why they're so great. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
musician wise. I was like, yeah, because even with Creed, like I dig Creed, Scott Stamp, and the music's good stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's Mark Tremonti, I think.
Yeah, Mark
Guitar.
Tremonti. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great guitar player, and so is I mean Miles is both of those
oh yeah,
dudes.
no, his voice is
Smoke.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does the stuff with Slash. It's great. Yeah, and the Conspirators. I'm like, yeah, this dude's killer, man. He's got a killer voice. You can't beat it.
Right, right. So, kind of like to get like a gauge of where folks feel the local music scene is. So, how do you feel that is for you? Do you feel like that the Detroit area has a good scene, the Michigan scene is good, or do you feel like
Yeah,
it could be
yeah.
better?
I'd say it's a good scene. There's a
No.
good. I guess the only thing I would say is maybe there's some stuff with like pay to plays,
Oh
where like
yeah,
bands will have to pay to play to get on.
yeah,
That's the only thing I'm kind of
yeah.
feel like
That's
bands should get, like, if you're gonna at least put all the effort into it, you should at least get paid a little bit or something. It
yeah,
depends, but if it's like unless it's like an event where you're not doing that, but
yeah, yeah.
that's the only thing. But other than that, no, yeah, great fans and people come out. You know what I mean? There's great venues and different spots and festivals that happen every year. So yeah, it's definitely booming. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
great scene. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So do you, you know, from the time that you started up till now, like, what are the things you think you've like have been most impactful for you to take away from your playing? Like, what have you learned that's really like changed the way you play from when you started as a kid to what you're doing now?
Um, Probably definitely playing with a click. That's different now. Like a lot of bands now you have to play
Yeah.
with the click. Drummers you'll play with the click even live or in the studio. That was like huge. The first time I ever went to the studio and did the click, I was like, all right, man, I get it now.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like your timing's got to be really good. Because some bands they never used it, but some bands do. You know what I mean? That's a huge industry standard thing now. Like the click is huge.
Yeah. Did
But
you
yeah.
like so how hard was it for you? Like was it just like just getting used to it or was it like oh man this like yeah, 'cause I'm not familiar with being a
Yeah, no,
drummer, so
it
I don't know what it was
wasn't
like.
too bad. It's just, like, 'cause I was kind of young, so the first time I ever experienced, I was like, all right, But then once I did it, I was like, yeah, I get it now. It's
Yeah.
actually not too bad. It starts to kind of you just feel it eventually, like it kind of goes away. It's one of those things. Once you like hear it enough, it just kind of
Yeah.
flows with the music. You don't really notice it, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad. Yeah,
Becomes muscle memory and just ingrained in your brain and you're just like
yeah,
boom, you're
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Awesome, man. So, have you ever met any of your, and I know that I've met a few of them, and some were good and some was like, I think it was mostly me, but just because I was nervous about it. But any of your musical heroes, anybody that you looked up to, have you met them in person, and what was that experience like for you, and who was it?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a YouTube, like I watch a lot of YouTube. So I watch like drummers, like I've watched Casey Cooper and all those kind of guys. But
Yeah.
guy named Drum Beats Online from Michigan. He's the new drummer of I Prevail, but he's been in for a while now.
Yeah.
But his name's Gabe. So
Uh-huh.
I watched him, and so when I went and seen I Prevail, I met the band, and I was like, "This is sick." But
Uh-huh.
it's kind of ironic because like I went right to the drummer, thinking that he's like the newest dude in the band. And the
Yeah.
band's kind of tripping there, like. But I just was like, yeah, dude, nice to be a great guy.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
his story's awesome, because he did construction and stuff, and then he finally like got big enough in a band, and then he got picked up. So
Yeah.
it's a great story, and he does teaches drums online, and it's just a good story how he made it. So I was like, right on, man, that's inspiring.
That's
Plus he's
awesome.
from Michigan, so I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what I know, they filmed that blank space video out in a little town out in Memphis that's right by me, believe it or not, because I live out in Richmond, Armada, a little small farm town.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
What's the biggest town near you? Where is that? I'm trying to think.
probably Mount Clemens or Port Huron, I'd
Okay.
say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So up like New Baltimore area, that kind of, or
yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
that's
I'm
probably
more
farther
north.
north. Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah, I'm a
more
little bit
north
more
than there?
north.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Awesome,
yeah,
man.
little small farm town. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it came off the woodworks, man. So
That's crazy. So, if you could, like just talk to somebody, yeah, live or dead, and ask them, I don't know, anything about drumming or music in general, who would you like to talk to, and what would you like to talk to them about?
I'd probably talk to Neil Peart if I could, just because I
Awesome.
love Neil. I'd
Yeah.
probably just ask him like how he wrote the stuff, to be honest, like what was his method, because even 2112, he came up with like, the solos and just the way he planned out his drumming, because even he wrote most of the music as a drummer, which
Yeah.
is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would think you'd have to play, like having without the notes, since it's kind of interesting.
Right.
I'd be like,
Right.
how'd you write the music, man? Because it is from a drummer's perspective, it's crazy. Like the way you explain it is probably way different than like what a guitar player, or bass
Yeah.
player, or whatever. Anybody that plays a different instrument, because it's all in some ways different. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because you'd be, always thinking about, well, like, because I play guitar, so I'm thinking of like notes and not necessarily like rhythmic patterns, but he would have had to think of like all of that, right? So he's thinking
yeah,
of like he's got some melody in his head, plus he's like thinking, oh, I want the timing to be X, and I want to
yeah,
change it here
exactly.
and do all
Yeah,
that stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
that's that. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
I'm
The
I'm a
puzzle
huge
pieces all coming together, man. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm a huge Rush fan, and That was actually the first concert I ever went to was
Oh, that's
Rush.
amazing. I wish I would have seen him. Yeah, I wish I
Yeah,
could have, man. I
yeah,
just, yeah, I never got to. But yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Do you got any like favorite Rush albums or tunes?
probably like Temple of Series, 2112, how they go into it. And
Yeah,
then obviously Tom Sawyer. Like, I love I always, I was
yeah,
like, man, I always wanted to play that live just one time because it's just a hard piece, but it's
yeah,
great to play.
yeah. Hell yeah, yeah.
Good
That
challenge on you.
it would be. It would probably fit. I mean, it's not necessarily hair metal, but it is around the '80s, I think, right? Tom Sawyer was like '81, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're an interesting band, man. They definitely have their own like style. They're
Right.
just rough, man. There's no like defining who they are, as a genre or anything. So
Right. Right. Um, so what's on the horizon for you as far as like music and bands? Because I know you've got Unusual Mindset and the
yeah,
some music coming
yeah.
out there.
I actually have a few. So I'm probably gonna be filling in for another band I know from the scene. I'm not gonna like say anything yet, but like
Yeah.
eventually I'm probably gonna be helping a band filling in, and then I'm also gonna be I'm auditioning for a band right now. So
Oh, cool. Very cool, man.
I'll
Awesome.
see how, you know what I mean? How that goes. And then once I know all the stuff, I'll post about it, of course. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
And then NBT is playing with Halloween, which is cool because I
Oh
know the guys from
yeah.
Halloween, George Neal and Brian, all them. So yeah, I just seen them at Diesel's. But we're gonna be playing December 13th, which is like a Friday the 13th thing we're doing at
Awesome.
Diamondback Music Hall down in Belleville, which is like the first time we play in Diamondback Music Hall, but I've heard it's a sick venue, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
but
excited for
it's a
that. It's gonna be a
it's a
sick show.
huge
Yeah.
it's a huge place. It used to be like a country bar or something like that back in the
Yeah.
day.
No, yeah,
Um,
I've heard kind of like District, just really nice, like, District 142. I don't know if you heard about
yeah,
that place, but that
yeah,
place is sick. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Really
I've
killer venue. They treat the bands really good, when I played there. I was like, this is great, man.
that's
Get your own
always
dressing room and like,
really
drinks and yeah, pay you and everything. Good
that
experience.
that's awesome. Yeah, because yeah, it sucks when you're just like playing some, well, even you should get paid it regardless, right? But then,
Yeah.
if you're not treated well, then it's just like, oh, what the fuck, why are we here, But
Yeah.
I'm glad there's venues that are doing the right thing and like, treating
Oh no, yeah, no,
treating the
yeah.
talent well.
There's a lot of great venues out in Michigan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah. I think the biggest problem is like just some promoters are not necessarily legit, but otherwise, I think the venues are great.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
part of the business.
yeah, hell yeah. So, got another question about like um, concerts, albums. What are you listening to right now as far as like music that's really intriguing you?
Trying to think. Um, Kind of country. Like I said, I was listening to some country, a little bit of country music's
Yeah,
kind of intriguing to me. Just something about it. I don't know. It's just something different for me because I always grew up with like hair and all that. So to me, it's kind of more. It's just something different.
yeah,
Even pop punk. Like I mess around with pop punk sometimes, or just I try to always change it up. Or even like rap music, I'll play over. I'll do
yeah,
drums like over rap music. Kind of like freestyle it. But that's I don't know. To me, it's cool. It's kind of I don't know. I've been watching guys like Luke Holland do that, or
yeah,
even Travis Barker. Like you know what I mean. Blink 182. I always think that because
yeah.
he even works with like rappers and stuff. I'm like, right on, man. That's pretty sick.
Right, right. So have you ever thought about doing any like teaching or anything like that? Or do you
Yeah,
teach?
no, yeah, I've definitely thought about that. It's just kind of one of those things I probably have to just figure out as long as I get, you know, like people I would love to, even online or
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah,
I like
I th
to
I think that's a very,
yeah.
the cool thing like right now is like, that you can do it remotely, right? Because you can, I actually took some guitar lessons from a guy in fucking California, and
No,
it's
yeah,
like,
it's crazy. Yeah, you can
yeah,
do remote stuff. It's great. Yeah, you can do it on
yeah,
virtual and everything. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah. I think would we use Skype maybe? I think it was. I can't remember. It was either Skype or maybe might have been Zoom, but yeah, it was great because you can do like just one-on-one stuff, and you could, I mean, especially since you have like your own setup, you could just fucking run with it and have
Yeah.
students
Yeah,
up
it's
the
not too
ass.
bad, man. Yeah, no, it's crazy now. No, yeah, the technology is great with that. That's the
Yeah,
one thing with music. You have so much, well, plus you can look up stuff like even tabs right there now or
Right.
whatever. If you want to look up solo tracks, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, but like back in the day, if you had a record, you're sitting there, trying to, you're like, I gotta figure this out, dude.
Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
you had to sit there and read the music or something and try to find some like sheet music or something, whatever you did back then, to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. Well, fuck, dude. We used to just like, you know, tape, rewind, tape,
That's what I was
and
gonna say. Yeah, you'd
well,
have to just sit there and just by ear, man, for hours, just trying
yeah.
to. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And some people, I mean, they've got a fucking talent, it's just like they can just hear that shit like once and they're like, bam. There was a guy, well, I've a good friend of mine who lives in Las Vegas, and he's a guitar teacher, but um, anyway, that dude, he can just like listen to his tune, and the next thing you know, it's like boom, here it is, and it's like fuck, not, he's
that's
not,
crazy.
it's like
Yeah.
note for note, and it's like Jesus Christ, how does this guy do that? But not here. I have none of that skill.
No, yeah, it's all good, man. I get you though. Yeah, no, it's one of those things. That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
I've tried to pick that up over the years, like it's like with filling in and stuff, because you have to learn it quick on the fly. You're like you have to like
yeah,
have reminders for yourself. I might even like write notes, but I don't really look at it. But I'll do it like beforehand to like learn the song.
yeah,
Kind of just write notes. I'm like this is the verse. It's kind of a rock beat, whatever. Kind of or you kind of tell yourself like what or if there's a breakdown or whatever, or whatever happens in the song.
yeah. I find that when you mentioned writing notes, I mean that helps quite a bit because you just like I don't know. There's something about just writing, something down. It just like cements it more in your
Yeah, it's
brain.
a quick chart. It helps. Yeah. No, I even watch videos like on Drumeo. They'll do that.
Oh,
They'll
really?
bring in like artists. Yeah, yeah. That'll be so. It'll be like a jazz drummer or something. They'll have them play like System of a Down, dude, or something. You know what I mean? Or something that's
Right.
totally not their,
Yeah.
metal, or like they'll have a metal drummer that plays like pop or whatever. But it's great just to see what they put on it because they have to listen to it and then they play it after like a few times of hearing it. So they put their own drums on it though, you know what I mean? So to
Yeah.
see what they could put on it, from their perspective is great, When they hear the original, they're like, oh, I can see I can see where they're coming from, but I just
Right.
thought, this is sick what I did, but whatever.
That's awesome. So what keeps you inspired to want to keep playing music? Because I know, it's one thing to just, you love music and you want to play music, but to play music and be in a band, that's a whole nother level of dedication and work. So what is it that drives you and makes you motivated to keep going?
Um, I don't know, man. It's just my dream. I just always loved it. Something about it. Being on stage is just great. It doesn't matter where, when. It's just something about it, man. There's that energy of being on stage. I don't know. Even a band, such as having a family. You know what I mean? Or even the fans. There's something about it. It's like your music family.
Yeah, yeah.
Brings you closer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is your music family? Because I think of that too. With different things that I do. Like just there's an energy you get from being around some of those people, and it's just like I don't know, it's infectious. It's
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
just want
yeah.
to keep
Something
doing
about being
that.
at a show. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah, it's very peaceful. I don't know. Even like I don't want to be all hippie, but kind of like Woodstock, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
gathering of people and just people going to festivals, just having a great time and just there's no drama. It's just all about the music and love and just,
yeah, yeah.
it's a great thing. Yeah, when people all get together and just love something that we all love to, you know what I mean? We
Well,
all love it. It
yeah,
doesn't matter what genre or who, like you be a metalhead and like, different kind of, you
right.
know, backgrounds, but everybody gets together and it's all, it's great because music,
Yeah,
different natures or
yeah. Hell
whatever you
yeah.
listen to.
That reminded me of I don't know who said it. I probably should figure that out. But there was some quote or something like uh, like whenever you go to like so if you go to a concert by yourself, you're really never alone because all those people are really your friends because you're there all for the same reason, right? So
Yeah.
and it kind of fits
No,
with
yeah,
what
yeah.
you were talking about. It's like
Well, yeah, you might run into
everyone's
somebody
there.
you never met, yeah, and then you
Yeah,
start talking to them about like, man, I've seen this band when I was, I'm over here, man, and this, wherever, and then you
yeah,
start
yeah.
comparing. It's great, yeah,
And it's funny, you kind of like even, just going to shows and you run into a lot of the same people, and it's like you may not know that guy's name or whatever, but you're like, hey man, because you just remember each other and you
yeah,
know
you do
that.
know them, yeah. No, even Diesel's Lounge, like a place like Diesel's Lounge, like I grow, like I'm close to it, it's
Yeah.
like maybe about 30 minutes from me or something. So I'd go up there, even just to see local bands, it doesn't matter. Or on a
Right.
Friday night, you don't really look it up. You just kind of go because you're like, yeah, man, I'll probably see people I know,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you do, you see your buddies, then you see new people and different, just more exposure, just networking, it's a huge network. It's great. It just helps get you out there and just see new stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a speaking of good venues, that's a good one, man. I think they do a great job there. They got those, the two
Oh yeah, I
different
love Diesel. Yeah,
yeah.
two stages. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've played both. They're both great, and I've opened up for Sebastian Bach there when I was younger, like
Oh,
Faster Play
really?
with Dad. And yeah, that was a great show.
Awesome,
It
man.
was killer. It was packed out, man. I was like, yeah, I love Bach, Skid
That
Row. Yeah, it was
yeah.
killer.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Very cool. What's your like most favorite like stage memory as far as like a show you played? So you mentioned, opening for Bach, but do you have any like a few that you feel like, man, that always sticks in my head as far as the show you played?
Um, Probably District 142 when we played with my old original band. It was Phoenix Rising. It was a great time just because we got like asked, like it was like a thing where they had like the fans vote like in the comments, and then we
Uh,
got like voted on to play the show. So I was like, this
awesome.
is sick, man. You know what I mean? So the people kind of spoke. They're like, yeah, man, we want you to play, this venue, and I was like, all right, man, sick.
That's
So it's a new venue, so it was hard, to get in at first when it first opened. Everybody wanted
yeah,
to get in. It's a new venue, so
yeah.
yeah, it was great. And then trying to think, probably Diesel's when Diesel Concert at Phoenix Rising, we headlined it and we played the theater side. We actually
Oh,
packed out pretty good, but we got to do
nice.
like a whole set. We got to set up early and like put up a pretty good stage show and everything for the people, and it was just a good show. So
Awesome.
I always remember that one. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So, how did you get the nickname the Animal? I mean, I'm guessing it's from
Oh, yeah.
Animal from the Muppets.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I got the tattoo, so I have that.
Awesome.
So, and
Fantastic, man.
yeah, my dad's friend, Mike. He's just growing up. He was just like, kid's an animal, dude, on the drums. So I just was like, all right, man. I just kind of stuck with it. When I got older, I was like, right on. I just
Yeah,
always wanted the tattoo, anyways, too, because I like him. I just grew up. I love that dude. Is high energy and
yeah, yeah. And crazy
probably
and just wild.
I guess how I am. I guess on stage, I kind of nuts. I kind of just go in my own. I'm in my own world when I'm on stage. It's kind of going nuts.
That's
Always like
cool.
say I'm a juggler. I'm from the circus. So I'll throw my sticks, and
Yeah,
twirl them. Yeah,
that's cool, man. That's awesome. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. I've got just
I appreciate it, man.
one
Yeah.
last question for you, and that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
No pineapple. Nope. Only a meat guy, man.
All
You got that
right.
meat lovers, dude. I'm down. That's the stuff.
Fantastic. So, what's your favorite topping combo?
Ooh, on pizza,
Yeah.
yeah, probably pepperoni, bacon, ham. You know what I mean? Anything meat, man. Just put a bunch of meat and cheese on it. I'm good, dude. It's
Awesome.
set.
Yeah, that sounds good to me too, man. Because I like pineapple, but I just don't see it on pizza at all.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, dude, I don't do the Hawaiian thing, man. No,
No, no, no. Well, awesome. Well, Steve, man, it was great to talk with you, and
it was great
we're
talking to
looking
you.
forward to checking out some music, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I appreciate it. It
All
was
right.
killer, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, man.
All right, rock and roll. Peace out, man.
Many thanks to Steve the Animal from Unusual Mindset and Next Best Thing for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. Steve is one hell of a drummer, and I really enjoy talking with him about his musical journey. You can catch Steve in his hair metal cover band, Next Best Thing, opening for Halloween at the Diamondback Music Hall on December 13th in Belleville. See the show notes for all the details and links. Bands are nothing without you, the fans. Purchasing music and merchandise is critical to their survival. If you can help out your favorite bands, please do. If you're in Michigan, consider following the Playing in Detroit Area Tonight and SE for Southeast Michigan Music Facebook pages. They are fantastic places for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your priest. Tell everyone. and leave a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jam.